Welcome back to another episode of the Double J Talk Show. I'm JLau.
And I'm Jazzy J.
And this is
Home Networking.
Because we figured if since we talked about gaming in our last episode, we should touch on something that affects gaming. Internet.
So we're going to both talk about our home networks. So who wants to start?
You can, because you know all about home networking and all the internet stuff. You know all the terms for it.
Okay. I'm going to try not to bore anyone. So, hopefully you don't get bored from home networking.
This is how you can increase your internet.
But this is how we have it set up here and how I'll explain it. People have a different setup. I'm not going to expose any IP addresses or anything like that. I'm just going to talk about what we do here.
We do not want it to have any Netherlands hackers.
No. And I'll explain the firewalls and stuff like that. All right. So the heart of the home network is the Xfinity gigabit connection we have coming in. Xfinity, we have the gigabit speeds coming in through XFi. So that's kind of how that works. And then from there, I have two devices that I have set up on the network. I have actually two routers, for that matter. I have my guest router, which is exactly what it is, a guest router, which is configured to allow access to the internet, and that's about it.
I'm assuming it gives off less internet than the normal one, right?
It's slower than the normal one, yes.
Okay.
We have it that way because it's not as powerful, I guess, is the correct term. So it gives you enough speed to, you can watch an HD video, but doing like Fortnite or gaming on it might not be the best idea.
Okay. So why would you have a guest and a normal network?
So the guest network is the network that we used for, well, it is exactly what it is, because we don't want to give like people that are guests access to our local network, which for that device, I have a Nighthawk, Netgear Nighthawk router, which I use for that. And that's what is distributed out. And then from there, it's distributed out to multiple access points in the building, which I'll explain in a second. But the reason behind a guest network is just because, it's a little more secure, than you don't share out anything personal, like you don't have people giving access to your TVs or your printers or personal network files like you have or things like that.
And they can hack into your stuff.
And they can hack into your stuff.
If they're good with hacking.
If they're good with hacking, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, that's the purpose behind the guest network. And then from there, from our Nighthawk, it's distributed out to 3 locations in the building. The first location that I have it set to go to. Well, actually, let me talk about some of the extra devices that are connected to the network at the main. We have the WD-MyCloud network area storage device, or network attached storage device, which is basically an extra storage device. It's a 3 terabyte drive that we have that we store like pictures and files and things like that we share between the family. And then we have the Blink Sync module, which is used with the Blink camera system, things like that. So, let me see, what was I going to say? Oh, but yeah, with the Blink system attached, so we have the Blink cameras here that we use, so, that sync module.
And you can catch all those hooligans who were throwing toilet paper.
Oh, yeah, you can catch all the hooligans that are throwing toilet paper. You could make sure your packages don't get stolen or anything like that. So it's...
Lurkers,
exactly.
stalkers.
So we have the Blink system here that we use for that, and then we also have... a line that splits it to a switch, which then distributes it out to the 3 locations in the house using the wiring.
How many cameras do you got with the Blink?
4.
4, okay. So I'm assuming 1 in the front of the house.
1 at the garage.
1 in the garage, 1 in the back.
1 at the back door, and 1 at the side door.
Ah.
So.
You have a side door?
Yeah, in the garage.
Oh.
1 that looks at the driveway and 1 that looks at the garage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of how that works. You have the Blink system too, right?
I do not.
I thought you did.
No, we don't.
You guys didn't install the Blink cameras?
No, I don't think so.
I thought you did.
Maybe we did. I don't know. Maybe
I saw Blink boxes at your house the other day.
We probably installed them, and I just don't know about them. But
yeah,
you saw Blink house. You saw the Blink cameras in my house.
I think I did. I saw the boxes. I don't know if you set them up yet, but I saw boxes. So I don't know if maybe your parents aren't telling you something.
Yeah, probably.
Still, it's a good system to have. It's a good
spying on us.
It's a good system to have. I highly suggest it. It's minimal wiring. The only thing is the batteries go dead usually after a year, depending on how much usage it gets. So you do have to. It is AA, so you do have to change the batteries out every once in a while. But it's
not too bad.
Better than having to run wires all over the place.
And you also have evidence in case you have to use something in court or for the police.
Exactly. Now, I also have it set up where I have network devices, I guess is the correct term. So I have actually network devices, access points throughout the building. I have one in the basement because the wireless down there stinks. One in the living room which also feeds out to the patio because the wireless in the backyard is not the best. And then I have a non-wireless switch in my room, which is what I use for all my stuff that I do. And it's all gigabit connected, so it helps out. And then the main router is also the DHCP and offers the LAN server.
Okay.
Okay.
LAN servers, LAN Minecraft.
Oh yes. Your turn.
Okay, so I'm so glad that Jared knows a lot about computers because he helped me a lot with networking, with all the networking in my house because as I mentioned in the last episode, we had really bad Wi-Fi. It was like 200 kilobytes a second. We were paying like what 80 bucks a month or $50 a month for it. And so we got a better service. We switched from having 200 kilobytes to having 10 megabytes a second with Ethernet. And I think that's a huge improvement, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a huge improvement on that.
That's like what, 50 times better or whatever?
It's a lot better than what you had.
And then because then when I do the Zoom calls for school, it would just lag out and then close me out of the meeting, and that would be that would affect my ability to like learn. So now that I've internet, I'm able to like listen to the classes more, and I'm able to not lag out of the games.
Oh yeah,
because every time I play video games with my friends, I always lag out, and it's always been a running joke that I always lag out of the games.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the bigger concerns that people have is lagging out. It happens quite a bit.
It's really annoying too, especially
depending on how many people are using it, lags out. There are also other factors that may cause it to lag out that are out of your control, like the Zoom servers and things.
My knowledge in internet is very limited.
So, do you know what type of router you have?
No. Like it's like a Verizon D-Link something.
Okay.
I know that part.
All right.
I don't know specifically what it is, but I know it's called that.
For some reason, I think I know more about his network than he does.
Yeah.
which says something.
No, but we're really good friends, though.
But
he knows a lot about the internet.
Yeah, I do quite a bit with the internet, so I help him out quite a bit. But I think I'm gonna get let me get from talking about our networks to talking about what you can do at your network. So, what's one of the biggest things you think a consumer could want to do with their network?
Just to make sure they have like at least 5 megabytes download speed, maybe 2 if you're really going the low ball.
Yeah. So networks, it depends because internet is a very interesting subject because technically nowadays it's a utility, so everyone usually needs it. But what happens is they use the internet, and there's so many competitors out there. Like around here, I think who carries the internet around you guys? Like
we got CenturyLink, we got Penn Teledata, Verizon, maybe Xfinity, maybe Comcast. I'm not so sure.
That's basically the ones around here. Yeah. CenturyLink and Xfinity would be the two major ones. And then, do you guys have Service Electric?
Yes, I think that's also Penn Teledata, which is Service Electric.
Ah,
yeah.
So there's numerous internet carriers, but and you try and have to find the best one. Depending on what you do, will determine how much speed you need. If you are doing what Jacob does, who's just going to Zoom classes and playing video games, and there's not much internet activity, you don't need as much speed.
Because 2 megabytes a second upload speed is actually not that bad for just gaming and just going on Zoom calls. That's pretty much it.
If you're doing what I'm doing, where you have all your TVs and media devices and things like that, and DJing, and everything is hooked into your internet,
and live streaming
too, you need some fast internet for that, especially with 5 people in the house too.
Yeah.
That
you can't have your streams lagging.
Exactly. You can't have streams lagging, and you can't have the TVs go out because
God forbid something happened to TV.
I know if TV goes out, it's all over. We all know how it is. If I had $1 for every time someone called me about the TV, I'd be rich.
Nice.
I'd be a millionaire at this point. But yeah, a lot of our stuff is like Roku driven, so it's kind of important, I guess.
Yeah. Huh, we also have Roku.
You guys do the Roku too?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It's only the one TV in my living room, though.
Yeah. One TV on Roku, your internet speeds don't have to be as fast.
Yeah.
If you have all your TVs in the house, which I think we have, let's see, living room, parents' room, this room, basement.
Yeah, because in my house
we have 6 TVs in the house.
Okay. Yeah, in my house, even with the 200 kilobyte Wi-Fi, it was the Roku thing. It didn't really lag as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it did lag from time to time, but it wasn't that much compared to like, gaming or live TV.
Yeah, it's dependent on a few things. So, and like I said, if you're not using a device on the network, don't have it on. Now, here's another question: how often do you change your Wi-Fi password?
I think we had the same Wi-Fi password and the Wi-Fi name since like what 2010.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Oh no! You never want to do that because you give out the Wi-Fi password.
Yeah.
Everyone has access to it forever.
That's fine. Not many people go to our house though. That's the thing.
Yeah, if you do have guests, important to change it and stuff. And even after a while, it's just a comment. It's like you're changing your phone password and stuff. You want to change it after a while. Here, I know I do every year. I do the guest password. Every 4 years, I do the main password.
Okay. I think it's just because my dad likes the name Human Nature Institute.
Well, that's the Wi-Fi name. You don't have to change that ever.
Yeah.
Unless you really want to change it,
Yeah.
But
I mean, he likes the password that we have on it, which I'm not gonna say because
security. Exactly.
You don't want hackers on it.
Exactly. Now, do you have a firewall?
No, we don't have a firewall. Anything goes.
We have a firewall. It keeps out bad stuff.
Yeah, bad stuff.
Bad stuff. It keeps out bad stuff and bad people. So
Hackers.
It's actually built into the gateway, so
Okay.
it makes it easier. But it provides us a lot of security because you never know. Never know. You might stumble upon a bad site and there you go. It infects your entire internet and slows everything down. But
That's why you have virus protection on it.
And that's why you have virus protection. Exactly.
Which one do you use? I use WebRoot.
I use Avast.
Okay.
So that's.
I use WebRoot because it came with my laptop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many out there, and I remember the days of yore when you could literally get one antivirus and have it for life. Now they charge a subscription for it.
I mean, it is more profitable.
Well, that's most services now. I remember when Microsoft Office, you only had to pay for it.
Subscriptions is like the future
for once, but now everything's a subscription, and I'm like, I don't want a subscription. I just want Microsoft
and you forget
Office.
about the subscriptions too.
And you forget about it, and then when you see your checking statement, oh. I still
$1,000.
I still pay for that. Oh, oopsie! Yeah. I was meaning to cancel that.
Especially if you're doing like the free trial stuff.
Exactly. I will do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. You're stuck with it for life until you realize.
They also make it really hard to cancel stuff.
Oh, do you want to cancel it? Why do you want to cancel it? Oh, is it just poor service? Well, we have a better offer for you if you want to. That's why I don't like subscriptions because they.
Oh, you want to cancel? Well, here's a cheaper option.
Oh, yeah. That's why I don't like subscriptions. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just basically how it is, I guess.
Except Netflix, if you just don't want
video services are different. That's just a different story.
Yeah.
But I just don't like subscriptions in general. For software, I'd rather just pay.
Just pay a one-time fee.
Pay a one-time fee. And basically then go from there. I would much rather do that.
But what happens if everyone buys it? And now
if everyone buys it, well, that's a different story.
Yeah.
If everyone I'd rather buy something for life.
Yeah, me too.
I mean have a whole lifetime license.
That's what Steam is.
Steam is
for video games.
That's why I like Steam because you download stuff and you have a lifetime license.
Exactly. Just don't get banned on Steam.
Just don't get banned, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Now, what else? I'm trying to think about networking conversations that we could have. I guess one possibility with the network is: do you use a wireless connection or a wired connection?
I use both because I use a wired one for my Xbox One, and I go in and out for wireless and wired for my laptop.
With me, I usually use the wireless just because the wireless is so good. I do have the switch in here that I plug my computers into just because sometimes it's a little better. And I very seldomly use plug the Xboxes in. I mean, sometimes I will. It depends on.
I use wired for my Xbox because it's just sitting there and it's gonna be there for like a long time.
Yeah.
And I go in and out with the laptop because I'm always taking in and out of my room.
Yeah.
So once I'm in my room, I wired. Once I'm out, wireless.
Exactly. It depends on where you are.
Yeah.
And like I said, some areas I do wireless, like in the base, or I do wired always. Like in the basement, whenever I have these guys over, I set up a switch and I just say, just connect to this. I have it set up on the guest subnet, I guess. And basically, they're just like, I just say, okay, go here, plug it in, have fun. You have all your, you get all your access.
All the LAN parties.
We can do a LAN party, things like that. But the basement wireless is not the best. That's why I had to put an access point down there, because before I did, whenever anyone would be down there, I would get so many complaints. Why is the internet not working in the basement? I'm trying to use the treadmill. Why is it not working? I'm trying to watch TV. It doesn't work. What's going? There goes my dog. Hey, does the dog have a off button? Yeah, but it depends on what you all are doing with the whole thingy.
Can you also use a range extender for the basement?
You could. I tried that. It caused some issues.
Okay. Oh, Jared also gave me a range extender for my bedroom.
Yes. I gave him the range extender we tried in the basement, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I already bought it, and it was past the return time, so I was like, all right, what do I do with this? Throw it out, and then I realized, oh, he's having wireless issues. Why don't I just give it to him?
Yeah.
And there we go.
One man's trash
is another man's treasure. So, yeah.
He also gave me a speaker the other day.
I did give him speakers because I was cleaning out my closet, and
you give me a lot of like.
I found some old computer speakers that I had in the closet, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give these to you.
Yeah.
I did some cleaning out because here's the thing: anything in this house, technology-wise, and some people,
you guys do get a lot of tech stuff.
This is stuff that I've had for the last 15, 20, or even my parents have had for a while that I, am. I could throw it out, but like I said, a lot of the stuff, once it's there, it's basically just ends up in here in my room. It ends up in somehow, it basically just ends up.
And now it goes to my house.
And then it ends up at his house now.
Yeah.
So
it's a whole cycle.
But yeah, old technology usually comes in here, because usually what happens is I will get something new, or we'll get something new, it'll come in here. The old stuff will come in here. Because I'd be like, all right, I'll put it in here because I have to, for laptops and stuff, I usually have to take out the hard drive and, do a wipe on it to make sure there's no personal information before we recycle it.
You also did a lot of computer repair back in your day.
Yes, I do. And I still do.
I still do?
I still do computer repair.
Oh, nice.
I have my screwdriver set, and I've opened up computers. I had to replace my friend's battery at college because, his battery was not holding charge, so we got him a new battery, and I replaced it over the summer when I was working in IT. I still, I did a lot of laptop repairs for Chromebooks, and I did stuff for teacher laptops too. Like I did shard reports and
you
LCDs.
Also, I remember when you looked into my laptop, it was like the fan was like grinding. It sounded like a helicopter.
Oh, I think I had to take your fan out a bunch of times.
The hard drive.
Things like that I've done. Yeah. I've been around the block with the laptops.
If you need tech person, go to this guy.
Yeah. But
we should start like a little computer repair company or something.
Maybe in the future. But yeah, I help out people. Yeah. Because I'm just how I do it.
And you enjoy doing it.
I do enjoy it. Yep. Let me think here. What else? Yeah. But that's basically what I have.
Okay.
For networking wise, PC wise, like I said, as new technology comes in, I decommission the old stuff, and then or sometimes I don't even decommission it. It just goes right into the closet, and then it sits in the closet until I either A, need something, so I take it and I figure out, all right, what do I need from it? B,
give it to a friend.
I give it to a friend, because otherwise it's getting or C, I throw it out or bring it to somewhere to recycle it. I don't throw it out. I bring it to usually Best Buy or the county sometimes does recycling and stuff like that. So there's usually 3 outlets of where old technology goes. It usually all ends up in here though. Like the other day, I had a bin that I forgot I put in the basement. Of just an old VCR player was in there.
An Xbox drawing pad.
Xbox drawing pad from.
I did not know those existed.
I forgot about that. We hadn't used that since we moved in here. And we had like an old radio, I guess, like an old boombox, and we had the 2 computer speakers that I gave you. So it was interesting on what we found. I forget. And then even my closet is probably 10 times worse. I don't even know what I got in there. I got my clothes, and then at the bottom of it,
it's a whole world of old tech.
It's a whole world of older technology stuff. Like over there, I have like a speaker that's sitting around,
and
like
a DJ set.
Oh, and my DJ turntable that I use for in here when I mix songs in here. All right, yeah. So that's basically old tech. Do you have a bunch of old tech anywhere?
Yeah, we do actually. My dad has a lot of like, those box TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of those because we have a lot of like VHSs, and he watches like old Japanese films. Yeah, he likes he likes the whole Japanese like culture thing. He used to go to Japan a lot for martial arts, so maybe get a couple movies there.
Yeah, like I said, like here, I think in this whole house, I only have one VHS player.
Really?
And that's because my parents said I have to keep it.
Nah.
I would have gotten rid of it years ago. Because what I keep telling my parents I want to do is I want to convert all their old VHSs they got, I don't know, stuff from like vacations, like I think their wedding videos on a VHS, or I forget what was.
Oh yeah, I still have some of my old computers. Like we have an old HP laptop from like 2009, an old Windows 2000 desktop. I mean that they have like photos on it or whatever, but like I think that's the only reason why.
Part of me wants to explore on that. Part of me would want to explore old. That's another thing I have a thing for is I like to explore old computers and old tech.
XP, Windows XP.
I like to do that. Like sometimes I'll use my one machine here that I have on my desk, my gaming laptop. I'll run a VM on it of Windows XP or Windows 2000 or something. Yeah. Because I get bored.
Hey, what's a VM?
Virtual machine.
Oh, gotcha.
It depends. Because I could install the software on there, but A, I'd have to find a copy of Windows XP, which I've learned is extremely hard nowadays.
Yeah.
And B, I'd have to wipe off Windows 10 to it, which I don't want to do.
Yeah. Do not wipe out Windows.
I'm not downgrading. Yeah, Windows 10 is very important, and like I said, it's also very expensive now. You can find copies of Windows 10 and Windows 7. You cannot find copies.
It's like Ubuntu or something, right? It was like called Ubuntu.
Ubuntu? No. I use Oracle VM.
Okay.
But yeah. It's usually fun to explore on old computers. I always enjoy learning about the old software. That's the only way you get good at it is you explore.
Oh yeah, a couple of years ago I revisited my old Acer laptop from like 2008. Had like Vista on it. It took 10 minutes to load Google Chrome.
Oh boy.
It's so old.
It's all good. See, what we got to do is we got to take all those. We got to just have like a fun day of just going through old tech here.
Yeah.
We could
sing all the old security stuff.
We could do that if you want.
Stay tuned for a future episode.
Well, I wouldn't call it an episode.
Okay.
I would call it more or less of just something fun. Maybe one of us will make a YouTube video about us just exploring old technology. Like I know people have done like the Windows trilogy type thing. So.
Oh yeah.
It all depends on what people want to do.
What's your favorite Windows operating system?
Windows 10 for sure.
Oh yeah?
Actually, maybe 7.
Yeah, it's either 10 or 7.
10 I like just because I've been using it for so many years now. 7 I really like too. The first operating system I learned for Windows got really good at was XP. So believe it or not, back in
my first was Windows 2000.
Yeah, well, my first operating system I used was XP. I learned about Millennium Edition 2000, 98, 95. I've gone all the way back to NE or NT workstation. Nice. I have not used Windows 3.1. That is, I want to use a Windows 3.1, Windows 2, and a Windows 1 computer.
I never used the old Mac stuff or newer Mac for that matter.
I did use an old Mac in school. I did use an old Mac. Well, I explored an old Mac Power I think it was an old Power Mac, I guess.
Okay.
I forget what it was called. It was one of those older Tower Macs.
I remember
It's like
oh, go ahead.
1990 look gray Power Mac, not the Tower Power Mac that you're thinking of. Like the clamshell ones, I guess is the correct. I call it the clamshells. I remember because we actually cleaned those out this summer. We had a bunch that we had in a closet that we decommissioned this summer, so I get what they look like, and I part of me wanted to go power one of those up and see if it worked. We didn't find it. We couldn't find any AC power things for them, so we were like, oh well, to the dump yard you go, or to the well, we call it the computer graveyard. To the stored end of life storage area you go.
Back to Best Buy.
Not for schools. Schools they have to contract someone.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, back to the storage area or back to the end of life area you go. So that was fun.
Right.
But yeah, me, I'm kind of a geek for old tech.
Yeah.
That's just how I am.
Newer tech geek for me.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Old computers. I just like anything computer wise.
It's nice. It's nice to look at the retro.
I like to
stuff.
look at the retro stuff, like old PlayStations. I like to look at NES,
Atari.
Atari. I do have an old Atari over there.
Really, I have the flashback edition.
I think that is the flashback. Yeah, it's a flashback. Oh. So I do have a flashback here. But yeah, that's just basically me in general.
Okay. All right, I think this is a nice little area to wrap up our thoughts.
Yes, this was fun. We went from home networking to just tech in general. So I guess
more tech.
More tech. Why not? We're both tech people.
He's more of a tech person.
I'm more tech than he is, but
yeah,
we're both tech.
I like tech, but I'm not very knowledgeable in it.
It's all good. All right, so I'm gonna do the plug because I had you do the plug last week, and
that didn't go well.
It did not go well. So
you're much better at it.
So check us out on YouTube. We have the YouTube videos. We are on it's the Double J Talk Show on YouTube. Subscribe, like, follow, share, hit the bell button. Stay up to date with these new episodes. Check us out on Anchor, Spotify, Breaker. You're taking notes, right?
Sure.
Take notes, because next episode you're doing it.
Okay.
Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, TuneIn, Breaker, Castbox, Overcast, Pandora.
You know I'm not gonna memorize any of these.
iHeartRadio. Listen notes. I'm trying to think of the other ones. I think that's most of them.
Okay.
We're a lot. And more. I'll say
anywhere
the end
you
more.
get podcasts, we'll probably be on there.
It's probably a good place. And if we're not, let us know and we can get on there. Okay. Like us on Instagram. Or like us on Facebook, The Double J Talk Show. Follow us on Twitter, Double J Talk Show.
I mean, you can also like us on Double J Talk Show too.
And follow us on Twitter, or I said Twitter, and follow us on Instagram at The Double J Talk Show. Keeping you up to date with new episodes, keeping you up to date with just everything that's going on.
Yeah, and pretty soon we'll have our own merch in the future.
That's a future thing we're looking into do, is getting Double J Talk Show t-shirts.
If you want to support us, let us know.
Oh yeah, if you want to sponsor us, let us know. If you have episode suggestions, leave a comment in one of those posts, or send us a DM, and we would be happy to hear your suggestions, and we're also looking to have more guests on the show at some point. So
we also like donations.
We do like donations. I have not set up donations yet, but I got to do that at some point. That's on my list of things to do. All right. Well, thank you all for listening, and we will see you all next time.